So I haven't done a lot of gun videos or talking videos in a while. I've been mostly doing a lot of cooking stuff, right? But you had a post that's been on here a long time on the website, and I've been doing some cleanup and trying to get articles to videos and videos to articles, and so I'm going to revisit something that, like I said, has been on the website since February, right? And that is talking about firearm stoppage troubleshooting. It seems to me when I'm out on the range giving a class or just on the range shooting, and people have gun malfunctions, they typically always blame the gun, right? This piece of whatever, you know, and I don't really, at least in my experience, you know, the majority of modern guns, really the first problem isn't the gun, okay? And there's an acronym that kind of explains, and it's actually in order of the causes of the malfunctions, at least based upon my experience and the experience of some other instructors, some other shooters. And that is SAMM, S-A-M-M. Kind of like SAMMY, but that's not ammo specs, right? First cause is the S, and that would be the shooter. Typically, you've got the shooter and they're limp wristing, right? And when you limp wrist the gun, you have to remember on a semi-automatic gun, the frame has to stay locked in, and so the slide can then move backwards. If you're limp wristing the gun and there's nothing for the gun to recoil against, it's going to cause all sorts of malfunctions. Maybe stovepipes because the slide didn't go all the way back to the rear, or you know, failure to extract because the slide didn't go all the way back, right? So your proper stance, holding the gun firmly so the gun has something to recoil against, or maybe your grip is such that your thumb is up on the slide, and the friction of that is retarding the action of the slide, right? So shooter. So if you're having malfunctions with your gun, look at your stance, look at what you're doing. You know, the next one will be ammunition, right? Is your ammunition powerful enough? You know, typically look at it like 1911s, older 1911s. That was designed for a specific type of hardball round, 230 grain full metal jacket, and the feed ramp was such that, you know, feed ramps here, a big aggressive hollow point with that flat end hits that feed ramp, and it catches rather than feeds up into the chamber. So, you know, as we say, if you're going to carry guns offensively, you should practice with the type of ammunition you're actually going to carry. You should shoot hundreds, if not thousands, of rounds using whatever you're going to use as duty ammo to make sure that your gun functions properly with the type of ammunition. The next one is maintenance. The range that I use most often, they have some rental guns, and they have and I've said this before, they've got an old Ruger and little 22, and it's I don't know, probably 50 years old, and I don't think it's ever been cleaned. And when a shooter comes in and they don't have a gun, and I'm out of guns, and we get that gun, it seems like they can't fire 2 rounds straight because they shoot at jams, right? And the owner, he typically just sprays more oil in it, which causes it to get more gunked up. So, you know, if your gun's not clean, or if, you know, parts have broken. I know with my Glock, shot it for several years before I actually came in and checked the springs, and my recoil spring was broken. I didn't know that, and it was functioning okay, but how do we know that you know, that it's not going to have a problem? So, you know, shooter, ammo, maintenance. Those 3 things are probably most likely going to be your cause. And then the third one is going to be, you know, mechanics, the actual design of the gun, something broke. So, you know, check yourself first, check your ammo next, make sure that the maintenance is good, the gun is clean, and then next we're going to check for mechanical to see if parts are broken, right? So there you go, and you can always read more on the actual website. A lot more articulate in writing than it is with me talking. So thank you very much. Until next time, you can always catch us online, www.tngun.com.